Ladies and gentlemen, happy Taco Tuesday. This is the ENS Update Show. Today's going to be a very special episode because there's always so much to review, to discuss, to talk about. This is why we do this show every Monday through Friday because news comes out at such a rapid rate on Twitter. You got to talk about something every day, right? At least to keep it relevant in your head. I wanted to add a new addition to this show because I really was pondering upon yesterday's show and I was like, damn, there's a lot of good speakers, right? There's a lot of great people who come on stage and, give their perspective about the market from their background, whatever it is, right? And I'm like, damn, what's a way that I could show these people my appreciation besides just saying, oh, um, thank you for speaking, right? So I decided to incorporate the ENS Punk's like button, right? He created a like button for us to give out to the community, for us to kind of, show our gratitude to each other. So I'm going to actually start using that every episode. And the speaker who ends up getting the most likes will probably get a giveaway at the end of the week or something like that. And anybody could give anybody likes that's on stage, right? And I'll keep track. I'll keep a tally of it, and we'll make it fun. We'll have some fun with the like button, right? If somebody says something fun that you like, just, hey, I give you 5 like buttons and we'll go from there, right? But we do have some very exciting news today. 999 Club, all-time high, 37 ETH. So let's give some hearts for that. That is special. The market's moving in the right direction. ETH gone down, digits go up. Colorado accepts Bitcoin and crypto for tax payments. That is huge via PayPal. That is a step in the right direction, y'all. An entire state is accepting crypto payments, right? Using PayPal. Imagine when they find out about, ENS and things of that nature, make life so much easier for them. ENS and Coinbase, the ENS of Coinbase uh, collab is officially live, and I like it. I love it. I love the idea that you could import your current .eth domains if you don't want to use the one that they're giving us. So that is great in my opinion. And Nasdaq launches digital asset unit to cover services for Bitcoin and Ethereum. That is huge, right? Nasdaq is one of the biggest investment opportunities, right? So I love the opportunity of that. And last but not least, I want to go over Drea's tweet real quick, where she talked about ENS terms that you should know, terms that are going to make your life easier if you understand. So check out that pinned tweet to the top, like it, retweet it, save it somewhere, take a screenshot of it. But you're definitely going to need to know that. And with that being said, let's pass it over to our boy, Ron.
Hey, GM Kev, GM everybody. Yeah, that news that Kev just spewed out there, 2 and 3 massive things happening. In a bull market, that could just cause some crazy stuff to happen, right? But that's the difference between a bull and a bear market is, any news in a bull market like that is causes massive spikes in the price and whatnot, interest. But in a bear market, nobody cares, right? And it's just, I don't know if it's just human psychology or whatever, but what they say, what's the saying there? Be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. Right now, others are fearful, so we need to be greedy, not just with buying, but with our time and with our, this is the position when, I know there's a few surfers in the crowd here. We were on some spaces the other night talking to some people in Hawaii and Australia and other places that surf, and you the work's done before. The work's done and waiting for the wave and paddling. You guys can jump up and correct me. I'm just kind of a novice surfer, but I was raised in Huntington Beach, so I surfed quite a bit when I was a kid, boogie boarded and whatever. But you sit there and you wait for that right wave, and then you paddle and you get in position for when the big wave comes, and that's when the fun happens, right? And this is one of those times that we're just waiting and waiting, and then maybe we see the wave getting out there. We got to start paddling and position ourselves, and that's when the easy money's made. That's when it just seems like, oh, this is wow, money's so easy to make. And it's funny because it can seem impossible to get ahead and make money, or it can seem like, oh wow, this is this is just so easy, right? It's like, and I like the analogy I heard years and years ago of you're rolling this, you and your friends are trying to make something happen. We're all rolling this huge boulder up a hill, right? And it's hard just to hold it, just to keep it from rolling back. We're holding it and getting our fingers smashed. We're rolling. Then when you get to the top of the hill, it just goes down the other side, right? And that's the easy part. And that's the exact same thing in capitalizing on a trend or making money or starting a business or whatever. It's always hard, and we're in that hard spot right now. We got the Fed meeting and all the other bullshit, all the government stupid policies and all the, we've been living on this free credit for 12 years, more than we probably should have. So news like Kevin just about, huge news. I mean, literally in 2017, 2018, we didn't get sometimes as much news in months or a quarter as we do now in a day or a week, but it doesn't matter because everyone's still fearful. So wonderful thing is that here in the middle of we have the ENS, and the ENS is completely different because the ENS has got utility and it's got adoption. We're still in that pre-adoption phase, but we're just starting to see the little things happen. But there's a lot you can do now. There's undervalued. Look, 37 for the 37 ETH for the 999 club. Well, all things being equal, if there was an equal enough people wanting it and stuff, that should put the 10K club at 3.7, right? It's 2.75, so a 25% discount, and that should put the 100K club, once again, perfect distribution, perfect demand, equal demand, potentially could put that at a 0.37, and it's 0.06 now, so that's over a 6x disparity. And there's other things I see. I've been Quad Rocket's been helping me. I've been learning more about. I've been trying to kind of front run some of the normalization. I see other people doing that. Now it's risky, but if you know what you're doing, maybe it's a great opportunity, right? Other people are building, right? We got I don't know. It looks like he's called Decency now, but changed his name more than Prince. But Crypto Reporter is doing stuff, and Drea and people are doing writing, and Gary's helping. Gary's building on that. He was on a great space yesterday. Web3 domains. Other of us were doing these spaces. We're talking. Other people are onboarding people. I mean, everyone's doing their own building right now, and that's the time. And building could be learning. You could be learning. You could be learning to write right now. You could be learning to do videos. You could be learning about programming. You could be learning like I'm doing, thanks to Quad Rockets. I'm learning about normalization. I mean, if I don't know. I mean, I think it's a great play. We'll see, right? Time will tell. But having a little more knowledge than some other people about certain things, you might be able to front run those a little, get positioned. It might be 5 years before that pays off, but anyway, point being, there's tons of opportunity. This is the time you grind every day. It's not, you don't grind one day. You don't grind one day and then, take a week off. There was you guys, most people here probably don't know who Og Mandino was, but he was one of the first really popular writers that wrote about motivation and stuff. And at one point, he was a homeless bum that went to the pawn shop and literally wanted to kill himself. But he said, I never had enough money to buy the guns and the bullets at the same time. Anyway, in the winter, he'd go in the library at the city and started reading and feeding his mind with positive stuff. And anyway, became real successful. And I met him when I was in my 20s, mid 20s, right before he died. And I was able to meet him in person. But I had a quote by him, and it was, let's see if I can remember it. I had it hanging on my wall when I was, working two jobs, trying to, working two or three jobs, trying to get enough capital to get ahead. But it was something along these lines. And it was, a great tasks are consummated not by single explosive bursts of energy, but the constant daily application of the best you have within you. Basically, we grind every day, sunshine or rain or snow or whatever, if you feel good or not. And that's the position we are right now. And it could truly create generationally, once in a lifetime, once in a generation type wealth. And it's hard, and we're doing it here, Like I love Punk's thing. Do the damn thing. We got to do the damn thing every day. Do the damn thing. I'll add the little every day at the end, and that's what we're here doing it. And it's exciting, you know. Overall market depressing as hell. I'm down millions of dollars, but ENS, I feel like every day maybe I'm making millions of dollars. Just going to take time to see if that's going to happen or not. So anyway, yeah, it's exciting space, but just keep grinding. Don't stop grinding, and that don't. That might be days, might be weeks, might be months, might be years. All depends on what domains we buy and what we do to help the path along. But anyway, I'm pretty optimistic today, and even though there's nothing, you know, just seeing the digits, the little flickers, the light at the end of the tunnel, seeing the little things happen tells me that overall the bigger thing's going to happen. It's just going to take time and effort. So looking forward to today's discussion.
Wow, Ron, that was great. That was great. I'm giving Ron 5 likes. That was great. The biggest thing I got is grind, right? Grinding daily. That's what we're doing right here, right now, and being weathering the storm, man. So I love what Ron said. That was a great message to start the show. Let's go right over to our co-host, Master. Master, man. Good evening to you, brother. All right, we'll keep it moving. Maybe he stepped away. Let's go over to NFT verse. NFT verse, how you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up, Jim? What's up, Kev? 5159. Appreciate you as always. Hosting the ENS update show, man. You caught me off guard there for a moment. I was right in the middle of typing something up. But GM to the whole entire community, GM to the co-host, Ron, GM to Master, see Gary, see Punks out there, Stephen Miller. Wait a minute, 3402. Wait, what is that? Hurts so good. Wow. Gotcha. And decency, I see you out there, stable coins. And of course, shout out to the ENS Maxis, always jumping in, and 420 uh pineapples. Anyway, I appreciate everybody tapping in this morning. Like Kev said, there's so much news that happens every single day in this space. It's just nonstop. I did pin a tweet where the latest three digits just was bought for 45 ETH. Man, there's that 45 mark, man. I knew at some point we were going to get there, and man, that's huge right there. So that's the latest sale right there. But that's all Hurt So Good's job. I don't want to impede on her great work. So I'm not even going to go into that. But to talk about the NASDAQ just a little bit, that post in regards to being a digital asset custody, setting up digital asset custody. For me, it's almost like, that's ENS, right? That's ENS in what the capability of what ENS is able to provide. Man, there's so many use cases out there for ENS. I just think that it's so young that a lot of these industries and entities just don't know yet, right? Just don't know that there's a framework that's already built for what they're trying to do. It would be so easy if they're going to be a digital asset custody or provide that type of service. One thing to go back to, right, is kind of where we talked about things running parallel, right? So Web3 can't just come on the scene and just completely take over. There has to be a parallel. Has to be a parallel existence with Web2 and Web3. And what the Nasdaq has proposed and what they put out there with the digital asset custody is that parallel that I'm talking about. Because at any point in time, when something's brand new, it just can't come on the scene and take over. It takes a gradual maturity, right? As Web3 matures, then people become more confident in it. As decentralization matures, people become more confident in it. And then that's when the paradigm shift happens from Web 2 to Web 3, from centralized to decentralized. But they have to run parallel for the masses to be able to see the functionality of it. So I think that that's important just to keep in mind as we continue to go on this journey. Colorado, right? Accepting tax payments via PayPal. Wow. Well, guess what? They could build an ecosystem with ENS domains and accept those same crypto payments by resolving and setting up their addresses, for Bitcoin and ENS for their wallets. They could build a whole entire ecosystem, easy tracking, easy accounting, all built on subdomains. They have the root domain for the Colorado, and they build and they issue out subdomains to all the Colorado residents to make their taxes. That's how simplified you can build an ecosystem with ENS domains. I think that people in states and things like that, as they start to move over to these types of frameworks. If you're in Colorado and you're ready to pay taxes, I think you need to go to the tax office and talk to somebody and say, hey, I know a system. I know there's a decentralized system. If you're already accepting crypto payments, let me tell you how to make it more streamlined. Man, anybody in Colorado in this room, if you reach out to your potential local entity that's accepting those payments, man, get on a call with somebody or try to get a meeting with somebody and tell them what's out there. They're not even aware of what ENS can provide for an ecosystem. Again, I appreciate everybody tapping in. I appreciate everybody's consistency here in this community. Continue to build, continue to educate. I look forward to the conversation, Kev. I appreciate you, bro.
Wow, yeah, I agree, man. A lot of great points for verse. Let's get some hearts for verse. Let's get some hearts for verse. I think, I think that makes a great point, right? Colorado is such innovators, though, right? I'm really surprised that that happened this early in the game. To be honest, that kind of caught me off guard. I was not expecting that. But Colorado, as a state, true innovators, right? That's some really innovative shit, right? And is this going to get to a point where it's 1, 2, 10, 15? Before you know it, all 52 states are doing it, right? Let's go over back to Master. Master, man, how you doing, bro?
Hey, good morning, guys. Sorry, my connection was not so good, but I had a great evening because it's my 11 p.m. And earlier I just hang out with three of my best friends, and we kind of had a hot pot beside the river. And the table was great. Everything was great. The reunion was great. And yeah, I see today the floor for the three digits got pumping again. I've been telling thousands of times that I'm not a really fan of digits, but they are just pumping of no reasons. And maybe people are focusing that the speculation, there's a floor, it's a collection, so they can buy it like an NFT collection. It all makes sense. And at the beginning, when we treat ENS as an ID, as an account, bank account for people to wire money to our addresses, then digits will make 100% of the sense, because every people, regardless of nationality, we understand it, without any language barrier. And moving forward, because ENS is not only an ID, but also ENS is an entrance for the D web, for all the Web3 web pages that linking to a no server website from IPFS and the smart contract and the decentralized naming service. So that afterwards, more and more service, when they start to put their projects onto the D web, onto the ENS address, and then I think it will bring another wave of the so-called of the premium words time. And also premium words might make more sense regarding the sub potential massive subdomain adoption, given the this week the testnet go live. Name wrapper will provide such a convenient stuff to facilitate all the project owners to use this and set up their subdomain plan to let others to register or buy it. So I think everything is just a matter of time. Regardless, you are a fan of digits, you are a fan of the premium words like countries, industry words, company names, first, last name, or regardless if you are a fan of so-called emojis, which is doing great recently. I always say that don't do anything with outside of the ASCII, but this is just something that proves I was wrong. That I admit, I believe the market will just show whatever makes sense, because it really looks cool as an ID put on yourself. But maybe moving forward, we will need to worry about if multiple, like like Android and iOS, the standard keyboard is the same, but if the emoji is different, how can we better standardize those? And once these problems are resolved, I mean, emoji really makes a lot of sense, because we always say one good picture makes more sense than maybe 100 words, something like that. Yeah, it will also work here. So eventually, we will not look in the hash address shape in the Etherscan, like the 0x1 2 blah blah blah, lots of the not human readable names. So every single one in this group, every single one of from the ENS community, we are our ENS names. We will be looking at the .is name regarding your digits, your premium words, or your emoji, or you are some combination. And it doesn't have to be English. It can be Spanish. It can be Arabic. Everything, right? So yeah, I think we are very grateful to have each other in this great time, and this is really something evolution, and and we are very lucky to be on the first batch to stay on this, because I really know that lots of the traditional the old money, the traditional big companies, those that are too big to fall, that they are still not so much ready, because the legal team takes so much heavy role in their company, is that 90% of their works are relied on those paperworks. And in crypto there are no paperwork, there is only smart contract, code is law. So yeah, this is really something evolutionary that will make the big companies step kind of slow stepping into it. But people is getting really in front of these companies and become the pioneer. So eventually it won't be the company itself, maybe the founder or what, that realize about it, but some people from down to up, from down to top, like their employees, like some of their supervisor, department head, and the legal team eventually, like our beloved lawyer ENS Punks, that by batch to batch, then everyone will realize this is the only answer moving forward. This is the only thing that makes sense to everyone. So yeah, if you have your ENS name, if you just acquire some cool digits, if you acquire some cool premium names, don't forget to change the association to yours. Don't make your association to like Ethereum, like Web3, like Bitcoin, all these associations. Don't leave them, to the previous owner by doing nothing, because you own it. Make sure the association all go to yours. Because otherwise, there's no meaning for you to buy the name. If you're only looking for speculation, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And another news is that I think soon enough, maybe within the next 2 weeks, in China, we will have a very high-profile digits group. It comes from the China domain investors, that we will host a China, ENS digits and premium words. The name is DID, decentralized ID. We will have such a space, and the time will be around the 9 to 10, U.S. Eastern time. And we will kind of also encourage some of the community members from the U.S., like everyone, you are welcome to participate in that space as well. We will have some interpreter in the China community, so that any questions, you can share your thoughts, and there will be some people translating your languages. So that I think this will be a great party from Western to Eastern, for the people to get to union together, which is something really cool. Once I have more information, once the date is determined, is confirmed, I will definitely post something and let you guys know. You're all welcome to join. I can't wait to hear, the two group of people that I work with, that I talk to, on daily basis, that's getting together. Although majority of you guys cannot tell each other's language, I'm pretty sure Ron is an exception. I know you can know some Chinese, but I really hope that someday that we can talk to each other with the help of the translator, so that we can share the knowledge, we can share the experience, we can all we in Chinese, we literally we call deposit the faith. We can deposit that faith together to make sure we are not fighting alone. Yeah, thanks so much. Look forward to that event.
Hey, I'm excited about that, Master. I was going to say, Master, you probably haven't had a chance to pop in, but a couple hours before this show, we've been having the ENS Latino, which I jump in, and I speak very little Spanish, but yeah, if a lot of us get up and speak in English, and um, they'll translate, and it's quite a good, vibrant space. So yeah, I haven't spoken like much Chinese in about 5 years, but I know I'll understand about 90% more than I do in the Spanish space. So, but I think it's great, and I think that bridge can be built, and I think we can get a community, and like I say, even if it's all in Chinese, but just when people get up and speak in English, then you guys translate to Chinese and do a little bit of sometimes translating the other way. But it works really nice in the ENS Latino space, and I'm excited about that. That'd be awesome to see that as kind of a weekly thing or a regular thing. I think there'd be a lot of knowledge be able to shared both ways. Right now, our only link to that whole thing is Master, and that's a huge link. But yeah, that would be great. I think that would be so exciting. And like I say, at least I'll be able to understand a little more than I do in the Spanish. But I still go to that almost every day and enjoy it, and still met some great people from there. So yeah, super pumped about that, Master.
Yeah, you know what, Ron? The second thing that I mostly want to do is to buy some triple sum, 3 digits someday. I think it's really something proud to own it. And the first thing I ever want is to hear you speak some Chinese, Ron.
Yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll see, right? We'll see when that space starts. I have been listening into a lot of Chinese spaces to kind of sharpen the blade a little. So we'll see what happens. Looking forward to it, though.
Awesome, awesome. We have Stephen Miller with his hand up. Stephen, man, the stage is yours, brother.
Thanks, Kev. GM, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day. I want to keep it a little bit quick this morning, but there's so much really incredible news out there that I wanted to make sure I shared some stuff from the international scene. I know that, again, a lot of the news at the top of the show was about some of the bullish stuff going on in the U.S. and around the continent, but there's two big things going on right now I think everybody should be aware of. And the first is that today's the very first International NFT Day. So happy NFT Day to all. Hope that you guys find a way to celebrate, maybe mint a domain around NFT Day. And again, check out across Twitter today, hashtag NFT Day. There's a lot of really great giveaways and community spaces going on that you probably don't want to miss. They should be a lot of fun.
Be careful of scams, though.
Yes, 100%. Be careful of scams. You're dead on, Gary. The other really interesting thing is actually a pretty big story that I think is flying under the radar. It may have been brought up on this space in the last day or two. I unfortunately was not able to make it yesterday. But the story that I personally think is most under the radar right now is that Norway has officially announced that they will be moving forward with rolling out their CBDC on Ethereum. So to me, that's a huge boost for the Ethereum blockchain, and it's one step closer to a nation actually adopting ENS. Because them taking that big step to move onto the Ethereum blockchain says to me, okay, we've got an opportunity for them to not only accept taxes in their country on the Ethereum blockchain, but also to incorporate many other services onto Ethereum. And guess what facilitates that best? ENS, folks. So I'm pretty stoked about it. I think it's a lot of really great stuff going on in the community this week. Yeah, man, I don't want to take up too much more time, but I appreciate y'all for being here. Appreciate you for hosting the space, Kev. And I'm going to drop a pin to the top. Would love to see y'all in the Shark Tank later. It's going to be a big day.
Yeah, hey, let me shill here. Since he's not going to shill himself, let me shill that Shark Tank a little bit, because I always get on and listen, and it's a really fun space. I mean, it goes on sometimes for 2 or 3 hours, but there's always people that want to get up, and it's great practice, to get up and learn how to shill, and also there's just great input on. I know some people actually sell some domains there and whatnot, but it's really a fun space, and I can't believe the excitement in the community of everyone wants to get up and take their shot and see what other people's input is on their ideas and what people think their stuff's valued. I think it's a really fun show. I think it's really good, And I foresee the day when literally it's going to turn into a lot of sales. I know there is some sales. I've almost bought a few domains because of it. And there's been a lot that I would have bought if I had, if I had the liquid right then. I think this thing's going to evolve into a space where it's actually going to move a lot of domains. And in the meantime, it's fun and it's great practice, and it's great to hear other people's ideas on your domain. It can, you have your own idea, but until you hear other people's feedbacks. And so if you haven't listened to it, it's a great show. Steven does a great job, and it's definitely check it out. And everyone loves it. I mean, insane interaction with the community in that space. So
Appreciate that, Ron. I think the other thing I want to make sure that I mention is that that's at 5 p.m. Eastern time today. I don't like shilling my own stuff. That's something I try to lean away from, but I always appreciate it when somebody decides to like stick their neck out for us. So thank you for giving the pitch there. The one piece I was going to mention is we are giving away something on the show today. We were really, really grateful to have a donation from somebody in the community. They've donated a great ENS domain that we're going to give away live on the show. So if you are in the market for a Gucci scarf, we got Gucci with the emoji scarf.eth that we're going to be giving away live on the show today. So drop in. Would love to see y'all there.
Awesome. Well, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's no way you cannot attend that after Ron just gave it that much love. So I will be in attendance. I might be searching for a domain. Who knows? Yeah, thank you, Steven. Steven's a great dude. I had the opportunity of actually having a meeting with Steven. So great dude. Great dude. He's legit. So, Steven, you're welcome on the stage anytime you want, brother. Let's go over to Gary, man. Gary, how you doing, man?
Hey, GM, everybody. Wow, there's like a lot of good information coming out today, and very, very interesting to say the least. Kev, amazing tweet up above that you posted about the 1999 registered for $30,000. It's just amazing. I mean, new owner must be partying like it's 1999, right? Super, super cool name over there. Yeah, I didn't know about the CBDC from. I'm not sure what country that started with the letter H. Was it Holland or was it a Norway?
It was
But
Norway.
Norway. Yeah, so like doing your CBDC on Ethereum, like really, really interesting, really, really cool. Super excited to learn more about that. Yeah, anything Ethereum related, Ethereum, ENS, like, peas and carrots, right? Not everyone likes peas and carrots, but with Ethereum and ENS are they're gonna learn to love it. Yeah, so it is interesting talking about the CBDCs. It's interesting. There's an old article that got kicked up in my feed from a couple of years ago where China is revealing a new digital yuan where the money has an expiration date. And so imagine like getting paid money, and then when you get paid money, it gets direct deposited to your wallet, and if you don't spend it by a certain period of time, then you lose it, right? And that makes it impossible to save money, at least using the currency. And it's a really interesting situation, and it's sort of like a really scary situation because it means people, generally speaking, and unless they had permission to save money, they wouldn't have permission to save money. And if they did have permission, the amounts of money that they saved would that they were allowed to save would be monitored and controlled, and that can make it really difficult. If that was your situation now, it can make it really difficult to save up for an NFT, to save up for an ENS name, to save up for this or to save up for that. Versus like taking your money and saving it. And with U.S. dollars, there's inflation, and so the way the world works, everyone's trying to make more money than what they're losing in inflation. So everybody's always losing money with U.S. dollar inflation, and they want you to spend more money to keep the economy going, and saving the money, slows the economy down. So they want you to really spend that money. And it's just, there's a lot of risks with this sort of situation potentially happening, and having that sort of restrictions, And this is why we're building revolutionary, immutable, publicly verifiable, collaborative, open, resistant to censorship, and decentralized blockchain technology. That's an acronym, just so you know. It stands for RIPCORD, RIPCORD, something that was coined by Andreas Antonopoulos way back in the day, a couple of years ago. And totally hardcore person. I definitely recommend checking out all of Andreas Antonopoulos' old videos. He was, and still is pretty badass out there. Yeah, just really, really interesting to see that going on, and just wondering like how that's going to progress. Seeing lots of countries, let it be China or Russia or Norway or the United States, who are talking about these central bank digital currencies. Everyone in this room is way ahead of the game, and you have, pretty much infinitely, even if you have nothing, right, and you're in this room, you have infinitely more power than somebody who's not in this room, right? Someone that's not aware of what's happening, the situation's unfolding, and, everyone in here who's, researching, doing their own research, not trusting what anybody says. Don't trust what I say. Verify everything, right? You can listen to me, you can listen to me and you can go verify, or you can listen to me and you can agree with like my opinions, or you can agree with how you think it relates to reality. But it's like two truths and a lie, right? You ever play the game Two Truths and a Lie? Like propaganda, right? Just because something is true, or just because something is something can be both propaganda and true. And what happens is that we hear like these things that are true, and then they're mixed in with lies. And so that's why with blockchain, with Web3, not only do you need to be in control of your own keys, you got to be in control of your own wallet, you have to be in control of your own identity, you got to be in control of your own NFTs. All of that's a part of being self-sovereign. You also need to do your own research, right? That means not trusting, right? That it's like there's people who they're like, yeah, I'm securing my own keys, and some guy like says, yeah, let me help you, screen share your screen, and then you don't know, but that they're like scamming you. Well, I mean, I don't care if it's me. If you're screen sharing your screen with me, you know what I mean? You got to like be really careful, and right, because you just don't know. Like, not only like could the person you're talking to be malicious, they could just make a mistake, right? Not all bad things are on purpose. I'm diverting a little bit down the rabbit hole. The point is that I think the whole central bank digital currencies are really interesting. I think it has an opportunity to go bad in a big way, and that's why I'm so excited that everybody's here in a space building. Yeah, shout out to Brantley.eth. He's doing all these really fun polls out there, like pinging people, trying to, it's like playing with the community and letting the community have a voice. Asking people, hey, should I come back in and pump your bags, or should should I delete my account? Essentially, it's really interesting. So he's actually getting the community an opportunity to, let the world know what they think. And yeah, definitely, if you want to, go vote on his polls, and see what he does next. He definitely has a big voice and a lot of influence, and has done so much within Ethereum. Coining the whole sign with Ethereum concept, and just doing a lot. I couldn't even get into like all the cool things that Brantley's gotten into. But yeah, just we need more building. We need more doing. I don't think I mentioned this yesterday, but just a shout out to the Earth project, which I am an advisor of. But they started minting subdomains for that project. So, in terms of getting an idea of how these things work, and sort of what the community thinks, you can go look at all of the subdomains that have been minted out so far for the, anything.earth. It's all in the same contract as the numbers and everything, so it's cool. Yeah, and so it's like, middle.earth and this.earth and that.earth. And so it's really interesting to, just sort of like watch the psychology and watch people play. And if you're planning on doing subdomains, it's probably a really good idea to just look at what they're doing, so that you can take the things that they're doing well and the things that maybe they're not doing so well, and then you can apply that toward your project, right? Like maybe you're some sort of PFP project, and maybe you haven't incorporated subdomains in your PFP project, and everyone's like, hey, why haven't you done this yet? You can look at the .earth project and get that done, because that's where the future is going, right? It's all going to be subdomains. There's going to be by magnitudes more subdomains created. There's going to be like practically infinitely more subdomains created than actual domains. So it's going to be, it's really good that people are playing with these contracts, building these contracts, and just to watch people participating. So yeah, rock on, everybody.
Yeah, I just wanted to interject real quick when Gary was talking about the CBDC, and I saw that article of your money will expire. There's an old saying came to mind: power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So just think about a government having absolute control over your currency.
And by extension, your voice. They cancel Twitters, they'll cancel your bank account. It is guaranteed. Or they'll reduce how much you're allowed to save, or you only get like, your money is like a coupon. It's not even a money, it's a voucher. So like with real money, you could spend real money on anything, right? Even things that are, sort of illegal, you could say. With this money, it'll be like, oh, you can't buy meat because you already met your meat allowance for the month, or you can't buy alcohol because you don't have a high enough social credit score to have more than one drink, or you can't buy gasoline because you need to take the bus, or you're overweight, so you're not allowed to buy this sugar. It gets pretty crazy what you can do programmally on an individual basis with algorithms.
Yeah, or they'll even say you can't buy Bitcoin. Even worse. Which is ultimately what I think the old CBDC thing is geared at. It's they don't want decentralization, and they'll do anything they can to stop it.
Too bad they can't, right? They could try, they could cry, they could do what they want, but at the end of the day, we know where this thing is going, right? We can't stay stagnant as a society. We have to keep it moving. We have to evolve. We have to get to the next stage. But stablecoin, go ahead, man, and then we'll go over to Crypto Reporter.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It's just, there's some really interesting news that's been dropping. A lot of people have touched on a couple of things, but there's just with the CBDC thing. I know there's a US senator who's just proposed a bill to ban CBDCs. So that's I'll share that to the top so you can just take a look at that. But that's reassuring. But what I tend to focus on is not not what people are saying, but what is actually happening in the space. There seems to be a lot of legacy kind of companies like MoneyGram. They're kind of getting on board with blockchain and stable coins. USDC have literally just announced that they're kind of teaming up with I can't think of the name now. What's the Robinhood? Yeah, they've just announced that USDC is available on Robinhood. So looking at these kind of things, then it's reassuring, that the stablecoin space and the blockchain, US dollars on the blockchain, on decentralized blockchains like Ethereum is moving forward, regardless of what the the regulators are saying, like the SEC, and they seem to be trying to slow the space down. But I imagine it's just kind of their power play. While they kind of move their pieces into place, they just want to maintain as much control as possible. But while this is happening, the space is evolving and it's growing. And there's a lot of benefits with blockchain technology, and everybody's realizing that, and everybody's embracing it, which is a really positive sign. So I'm kind of on one side concerned about what's been happening recently, but if you look at what's happening, we're evolving. This space is evolving. So I'm just really happy about that, and especially I'm really psyched about the Coinbase ENS news. I'm interested to see how that's going to play out. I'm not sure if it's going to be a subdomain which Coinbase are going to issue to their users, or if they're going to allow people to integrate their existing ENS names with the platform. But yeah, that's really good news. So I'm really happy about that. So yeah, just wanted to drop a couple of things. Thanks for having me on as ever. Really appreciate it, and all everybody in the space. All right, take it easy.
Thank you, Stable Coins. That was love, man. I agree with you 100%. Let's go over to Crypto Reporter.
Hey everybody, GM. Ignoring Kev, we got Ron, we got Master, we got Gary, NFT verse. What's going on, man? 00, I see you. Um, Shout out to everybody else that's on the stage, and to shout out to the listeners as well for just tuning in constantly. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Y'all make my morning, to be honest. Yeah, real quick, just touching on what everybody has been saying, which is, Jesus, this space is moving super fast, to the point where we're getting now Nasdaq looking at, oh wow, this is what I've been waiting for. Like institutions actually looking at this thing and saying, hey, we need to be a part of this. I remember it was Michael Saylor that said, I mean, really, we just really reached the $1 trillion mark when it came to cryptocurrencies. Once the institutions come in, once they have like regular frameworks in place, that thing goes from a trillion to 10 trillion, and it could potentially go to 100 trillion. Because when you really think about it, there's trillions of dollars just slushing around the earth right now in currencies and currency derivatives. And as they learn about what crypto is, they start to realize that, okay, this is the thing that they have to go towards. So it's crazy seeing that. Colorado seems to be like paving the way when it comes to just when it comes to the future. Because I would have not seen that coming. I would have not seen that coming. But that is amazing. Also, CoinGecko had did a thing. I think it was yesterday. I'm not sure if anybody touched on this, but CoinGecko actually did a little post on unstoppable domains. Now the funny part is before they even brought up unstoppable, they brought up ENS. So I think that already kind of like tells like the full story right there, that hey, they know the true player in the game. They know the one with the most market share, the one that's, the one that is the blockchain agnostic, cross chain compatible. Shout out Gary. Uh, uh, like protocol, and I think that that is amazing. The fact that they know the standard. You're starting to see the influencers, or the ones with the OG punks, like and OG apes, like actually go in and get their number, like we predicted, months ago. Shout out NFT verse for actually making that prediction when it came to the five digits, and the fact that they may want their Bored Ape Yacht Club
And the
land.
Sotheby's. Don't forget he did the Sotheby's
Man, this man
predictions.
he can predict the
Yo, what are the
future.
ladder numbers?
Yeah, exactly. I need that right now, man. I need that right now because he has been on point with it. And I think that just goes to show you that the people in this space can see the future. They understand what's really going on right now. They understand that this is a wave, that this is a something that cannot be stopped. When you start seeing like institutions and like nation states actually look at this thing, and like actually analyze and see what are the pros and cons. Um, but this is the part where we have to get really, really careful, because now you're starting to see everybody really look into this thing. You're starting to have the SEC kind of look into this thing and have their questions about it. You're starting to see, I think it was like last week, the White House that actually did something when it came to central bank digital currencies, and if it was possible, and the pros and cons of that. And in fact, I think it was my uncle that shoot me that article, and I'm like, I'm not even sure if that's really feasible. We're starting to talk about like some real 1984 type stuff when it comes to this technology and how we're going to use it. So I just, make sure, stay aware of what's going on in this space, because this thing could go south or it could go, to the moon, depending on, what we do with it. Um, Everybody is kind of concerned when it comes about shilling. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not shilling digits. I'm shilling knowledge. I think that we have some great people in here in the community that have, great content, great knowledge. Kev, of course, with the show, ENS Academy, Just Chills. I think that they are pretty knowledgeable. In fact, a lot of people in this room have gone off and created threads that I have bookmarked now, and I sent to people to just say like, hey, you should take a look at this. This is a quick little thread about what this is. How to set up your username. Just regular things. But I think that content creation is important, and I implore you guys, if you haven't, go on to Gitcoin grants. Be able to see the communities that you like, and then be able to contribute, because rising tide does lift all ships. And honestly, I'm preaching to the choir. I'm preaching to myself right now, because I need to figure out what happened with my Gitcoin grant. I feel like I submitted, and then that thing just like stayed there. So I'm preaching to myself right now. Feel like a little bit of a hypocrite, but it's okay though. It's okay. Um, but yeah, I would say to support the communities that are in there, because as more people find out what this is, as more people realize what just cryptocurrency is in general, then I feel as though there's going to be need for information. There's going to be need for these communities. People we're already seeing it. We're already seeing this growth, but I think there's more that we can do. Is all I'm trying to say. So I'll leave it with that. I have so much more on my mind, but I'm also trying to chill today. It's my off day, so I still got to get some things done. But if anything, it's been an awesome being on this journey with you guys. I really appreciate it, and yeah, look forward to the rest of the show.
Yeah, thank you, Crypto Reporter. That was great, man. I believe in the vision. We do have some visionaries on this call. We've been calling shit back since April, right? April, May, and it's beginning to manifest today, right? And we're still calling things out that we believe will manifest in the next, 12 to 36 months. It's just a game of patience, the game of belief, right?
And
I
then
do.
I'm sorry. I had to
Go
I had to
ahead.
change my I had to change my name back real quick, because apparently I've been changing it too much. I'm Prince now. So yeah, the artist formerly known as Crypto Reporter is back. If I change my name, it's only going to be for a second to show off, to show my new name. But yeah, Crypto Reporter it is from now on.
Yeah, we love the Crypto Reporter name, bro. This is the perfect opportunity to kind of reset the room. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the ENS Update Show. We do this every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, right? I want to give a special shout out to our sponsors, ENS Maxis and Domain Plug. Check them out when you get the opportunity to. Appreciate you guys 100% to the moon and back. Let's go on over to the weather report with our girl 3402. The stage is yours.
GM, happy Taco Tuesday. Kev, our host, Ron, Master, community. It's a beautiful day, especially for this Eagle fan. Eagles slayed it with a dominating win over the Vikings with 2 defensive interceptions and Slay and Hurts on fire. But now to our local weather. Ethereum at 1356, Bitcoin around 19,000. Top 24-hour categories. We have the 10K Club jumping a whopping 255% to 426 ETH volume in the past 24 hours. Also followed by the